What's going on, everybody? It's Armani Valentino, and the title of this video is Don't Be Fooled by the Representative. Now, what do you mean? First of all, visit my website, www.armanivalentino.com. Now, the sales rep or the representative is the person or the character or the personality that an individual puts up front in the early stages of a relationship. This usually lasts about the first 30 days. You want to date someone, I feel, at least for about 90 days because what happens is that you're coming into a new season, usually, or a new quarter of the year, or a different change, or something different will happen within that person's life, usually within that 90-day period, and you'll get the opportunity to see them and how they are in different situations during that time. Now, what happens, and the reason why people get fooled by this sales rep, is because they usually don't know exactly what it is that they want. They have not clearly defined it. It's kind of like when you go to a car lot and you go for one car, and somehow you end up, by the time you get to the finance manager and signing the papers, you've gotten a completely, totally different car based on things that they told you, and you weren't informed, and you didn't ask enough of the right questions because you didn't have, or you didn't know what to ask. Who knows? But whatever the case is, you end up with a totally different car than what you went in there to get. So you got to know what it is that you want. Then you got to be able to ask the questions that you need to ask to be able to make an educated decision to see whether or not this person is really who they say they are. You need to see how they have responded in situations with other people in the past. And in doing so, you got to make sure that you have your stuff together. You got to make sure that you have you together by knowing what it is that you want, knowing your strengths and your weaknesses, and being able to display those and be open and honest with the individual. And you cannot expect the other person to tell you if you do not ask. That's one of the things that happens in sales. One of the rules in sales, and also in relationships, early part of dating. If you don't ask, I don't tell. Kind of what they don't know won't hurt you. And I think we all know that that's not true, because what you don't know usually very well and usually does end up hurting you. So, with that said, what happens is when you get fooled by the sales rep, you end up having buyer's remorse. Okay? Buyer's remorse. So you go from the sales rep to the closer that closes you, and then to the finance manager. By the time you get to the finance manager, oh, here's the real deal. This is when the real deal comes out. You got those papers, it's like that thick that you got to sign page after page after page after page, and they want you to read it right then and there to make this decision on this. And that's usually what ends up happening during relationships, because we have usually involved ourselves sexually too soon, and so we've become emotionally attached to the other person. Just like a car, you get emotionally attached to it through the test drive, and then they sell you, oh, well, we're giving you this much off, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. And so by the time you end up buying the car, you end up with buyer's remorse. Then the finance manager, he further sells you. Kind of like it happens in a relationship. He or she further sells you on who they really are or whatever. But then right after that, that's when you get that thick, that thick packet of papers that you got to sign for. You're buying gap insurance, oil changes for 2 or 3 years, extra warranty. You're buying so much extra stuff that your car payment is now going up an extra $100, $250 sometimes, who knows. But either way, remember that. Do not be fooled by the sales rep, because if you do, you'll end up with buyer's remorse. If you got any questions, visit my website, www.armanivalentino.com, and I look forward to hearing from you. Don't continue to do the same thing that you've always done, expecting a different result. Make sure you get the 99 questions. Don't go into this year hoping that you will be able to recognize the person or whatever the case is. No, and be able to, back that up, okay, through the asking of questions that you really need to ask. So claim the increase. God bless, and I will see you at the top. Thanks.